Hey guys, what's up? It's Fern. I hope that you are all doing really well. Thank you so much for joining me for, I just spit. Thank you so much for joining me for another planty video. Today I'm going to be going over some of my favorite plants for the month of August. I cannot believe that we are in September now. This is my favorite month, I think just because it marks the start of fall, cool crisp mornings, warm drinks, cozy clothes, spooky season. Like, I am so ready for it. I hope that you guys are excited about September as well. However, it is typically like a kind of a tough month for our plants because we're transitioning from the summer weather to the fall. There's more pests. You have to adjust your watering. It's a whole procedure. I actually made a video all about that. Maybe I'll make another one for this year. I don't know. Let me know if there's any specific topics that you want me to cover and I can do that. But I'm just gonna start talking about the plants now. Okay, so I've picked out 5 plants that I've just especially been appreciating lately, and we're just gonna hop right into it. So the first one that I've picked out is my, oh yeah, by the way, I hope that the lighting is gonna be okay for this video. I haven't really figured out what my filming setup is gonna be, so I'm just doing it here today. So hopefully it's okay. Actually, you know what? I can probably turn on another light. Okay, I think we've got a little more light now. We shall see. Okay, so the first plant, as you can see, is my Hoya Polyneura, and I feel like I don't appreciate her enough. Like, she's so pretty. Every time I look at her, I just can't believe it. And what just blows my mind about this plant is that I chopped this thing up entirely in the spring. I think it was like the beginning of spring. Like, she was basically nothing, only a few leaves, and now she is a full-blown plant. And I even took a cutting of her the other day for my friend, and she's still just so lush. This Hoya grows so fast. She always has new growth coming in. You can see she has baby leaves right there and right there. And whenever I chop her, she just gets even more bushy and more lush. And it's just amazing. I really hope that she is going to do well here. I have had several plants struggling with the transition. It's like a huge change of environment for a lot of my plants that lived in the plant room to kind of acclimate to regular household conditions. But so far this one is doing really well. Yeah, I just love her so much, and ever since I started giving her a little bit less light, I've been seeing more of these like really dark leaves, which is what I prefer. The reason that I chopped her up in the spring is because she was getting way too much light and she was getting kind of bleached out, and she did have burn on some leaves, so she's doing really well now. Like, I cannot recommend this Hoya enough, you guys. I love her very, very much, and yeah, she's just living her best life. That's one that I definitely say you can buy as a very small plant because it will just take off for you, and I've never had problems propagating it or anything like that. Okay, next one. I am having some troubles with this plant, but I still wanted to put it in this video because it truly is one that I have just been appreciating so much lately, and that is my Philodendron El Choco Red. Look at her. She is so pretty. Now, you may have heard me say before, but this plant did take me a minute to fall in love with it. When I first got it, I was kind of like, don't really see what the hype is. Her leaves kept getting stuck. We were just kind of having a rough go. But as soon as I got her repotted and gave her a moss pole and just kind of paid a little bit more attention to her, she started giving me these beautiful leaves, and I love her so much. This one does have some damage because it was stuck. It's kind of an ongoing issue that I have had with this plant, although I have that issue with a lot of my philodendron. But I just love these leaves and the red backs. Like, it really truly is a beautiful plant. Okay, so you can see, I'm gonna talk about this now. You can see that she was coming out with a new leaf when I moved. And this plant sits on top of that shelf right behind me. So she gets pretty good light. That's a south-facing window. The humidity is definitely a little bit lower in here, and just like the move, like being in a box and everything, I don't know what exactly is, I think it's probably like a combination of factors that have kind of stressed this plant out, but she was putting out this new leaf, and it's just been kind of stopped like this for a little while now. Like, it's not even all the way pushed out, and it's like kind of I don't really know what it's doing, to be completely honest with you, but I have a feeling that that leaf just either isn't going to come out or it's just going to be like really jacked up. I don't know. So I think I'm actually gonna pop her in my IKEA greenhouse cabinet. I didn't really want to have her in there, but I think that might need to happen. Oh, and it looks like it was gonna be so pretty too. Like, look, can you see how pretty that was gonna be? I was so excited to see this new leaf too, but we're just gonna roll with it. Oh, yeah, she's got some funky stuff going on. I'm just gonna keep an eye on her, and I think now that I have less plants, I'm really able to give my attention more to the ones that need it. So I'm hoping that she's going to be able to thrive. So yeah, you know, plants are imperfect sometimes, a lot of the time actually, and I don't think that should mean that we appreciate them any less or like don't want to show them off, because this plant truly has brought me a lot of joy lately. That's why I still have it. And yeah, she's struggling a little bit, but you know, that's just how it goes sometimes, and it just gives me a little bit of a challenge to try to make her happy. Okay, that was kind of a rant and a half, but let's move on to the next one. So this one, I did post this on my Instagram stories recently. I cannot believe this plant, you guys. So this is my Hoya Polyneura UT152. And this plant, this is probably one of the fastest growing Hoyas I've ever witnessed before. I cannot believe that this is like a full-blown plant. This came to me as a small plant. When would this have been? Maybe like February? So maybe about like half a year ago. And it has completely, I've already taken a couple cuttings from this too, keep that in mind. But this plant has completely turned into like a full-blown trailing masterpiece, and I'm obsessed with it. It does live in my IKEA greenhouse cabinet. I'm actually thinking of transitioning it out of the cabinet soon, because I kind of want to have it in my bedroom, hanging from my bed, which I'm gonna make a whole video on that. But so I've been appreciating this plant so much, not only because it's just been growing like crazy, but also because it's blooming for me. I can't even believe it. Look at those. It's so cute. I love the backs too. They look like little like floaty tubes or like lifesavers or something weird. Yeah, I just couldn't believe how quickly this plant just started establishing itself and taking off for me. I even noticed that there's some roots coming out of the bottom there. So what I think I'm gonna do is repot this in a plastic pot so it'll be a little bit lighter and I can hang it in my room, because it looks like it could use a repot soon anyways. So I think that'll work out perfectly. But yeah, look at it. I love it so much. Ooh, these new leaves are looking nice and sun-stressed. Look at that color. It's so cute. Okay, next I have another Hoya, but I just have to show this to you guys. Oh, this could actually use a water pretty soon as well. So this is my little, whoop, kicking the tripod. This is my little baby Hoya serpens, and the reason that I had to show it off in this video is because look at these new little leaves coming in. I hope my camera is gonna focus so that you can see how stinking cute they are. Is that focusing? I hope so. Look at those tiny. These are honestly like the tiniest. Like, look at those really new ones at the end. Wait, let me try to flip this. I cannot even believe how cute. They're fuzzy and tiny, and I'm just obsessed. And I'm so happy to see this plant growing, because this is one that I was really concerned about, because I've heard that it can be a more tricky Hoya. I was told to kind of treat it like a Hoya Bella and keep it on the more moist side. So I've been doing that, and you know, so far so good. We're getting new growth. I think I even had new growth somewhere else, but these are the ones that you can see the best on the vine there. I don't know what my plans for this plant are gonna be. I mean, I'll probably repot it. I don't know when I'll repot it, but it's probably gonna live in my IKEA greenhouse cabinet for the most part, just because it's doing so good in there and I don't want to jeopardize that. But yeah, this is a Hoya that was definitely worth the hype for me. I just think it's so cool. I love the snake head looking leaves, and just how like tiny, oh, this lighting is kind of unwell, I'm sorry you guys, and just how like tiny and dainty it is. It's very adorable. And then last but not least, this is kind of like a little bit of an update, I guess, as well. So this is my Monstera Peru, which, yes, it is in the 2-leaf club. And the reason that I am so excited about this, if you've been here for a while, then you already know my journey with this plant. I literally was trying to root it from a wet stick like 3 times over the span of like almost a year. Eventually it gave me a leaf. As you can see, this was the first leaf it gave me in my prop box. And now, as you can see, it has this beautiful second leaf. It's not even hardened off yet. You can see it's a little bit of a lighter green. But you guys, look at the size of this thing. Like, look, this is the original older leaf, and then this is the new one. It's massive. I mean, it's not massive for Monstera Peru, but it's massive in comparison to the other leaf. So I still cannot believe that this thing is like becoming a little established plant after all that we have been through. It has been living in the IKEA greenhouse cabinet for probably the past 6 to 8 weeks, so I'm gonna keep it in there for a little while longer. I'm probably not gonna be keeping it in there like long term, but for now it is thriving in there. So yeah, I'm trying to see if I can see, oh, you can see roots on the bottom. So that's a good sign. Can't really see any like along the container. This is one that I've definitely heard other people say can be susceptible to root rot. Like they're a little bit more finicky with their watering, which I've also found with Monstera Adansonii. Like, I don't know what it is, but you kind of have to water it at the perfect moment or in the perfect time frame. You can't do it too early and you can't let it be dry for too long. So I'm kind of treating this one the same way that I treated my Adansonii. But yeah, it's definitely doing well in the cabinet. The plants in my IKEA greenhouse cabinet are all doing really well. It's just obviously the ones that are not in those conditions that are kind of going through a bit of an adjustment period right now. But that's just kind of life. That's just what's gonna happen when you move. Like your plants are probably gonna go through it a little bit. All right, so that is going to be it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed all of the plants that I shared. Don't forget to leave me a comment down below. I would love to chat with you. Let me know what your favorite plant is for this month. Also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. It really helps me out. And subscribe to my channel for more planty content. I post 3 to 4 times a week. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.